Whether you have been vision screening for years or this is your first time screening children for vision problems, EyeSpy 2020 makes the process fast, accurate, reliable, and fun. If you've not already done so, please watch the 1-minute video found in the user guide that demonstrates screening preparation. By the way, we strongly recommend using the Google Chrome browser. To begin vision screening, press the light blue button labeled Conduct Vision Screenings. The configured screening distance is displayed near the top of the screen. Beneath are 3 boxes displaying the configurations for visual acuity, depth perception, and color vision assessments. If your EyeSpy 2020 administrator has allowed any screening parameters to be configurable at the time of screening, a gray button labeled Config will appear to the right of the displayed configurations. Clicking the Config button will display those screening parameters that may be adjusted by you. For information about any parameter, hover the mouse over the corresponding green encircled question mark. Any adjustments you make to parameters only affect screenings performed on that particular computer and do not impact other computers or users, and they are only in effect until you exit screenings and return to the main menu. If you have access to more than one school in your district, select the school at which you are performing screenings from the drop-down list of schools. If a student roster has been uploaded into EyeSpy 2020, click the blue Select Student button to view the roster. You may filter the roster if desired and double-click the appropriate student record. Read the confirmatory message and press Yes if you wish to screen that student. If you cannot locate the appropriate student, you may press the Return Without Selecting Student button. If you wish to clear any data entered on the form, click the blue Enter Student Info button. A screening checklist is available by clicking the blue button in the lower right portion of the screen. Whether you have selected a student from the roster or are entering student information manually, you will notice that incomplete fields have a red border. Please refer to the user guide for a complete description of each field on this form. The student's glasses selection refers to corrective lenses that the student uses for seeing at distance. In other words, not used for reading up close. If the student has glasses used only for reading up close, do not have the student wear those glasses during the vision screening. Upon the completion of all required fields, a green button labeled Begin Screening will appear in the lower left area of the screen. With the student seated at the proper distance from the computer screen, press the green Begin Screening button. Following the on-screen instructions, click the text on the screen that reads, "Click here to proceed," and do not press the escape key during gameplay. You will notice that the browser automatically switches to a full screen mode and displays a message instructing you to prepare the student and to press the Enter key when you are ready to start the screening. As noted on the screen, you can pause the screening process by pressing the spacebar. From this point forward, the student directly interacts with the system by moving the mouse left or right to match objects on the screen and then clicking the mouse button when they have made the match. Students naturally understand the matching nature of the screening, but if not, instruct them accordingly. When necessary, the system will display instructions on screen, including when to occlude the student's left or right eye, when to put on the red-blue glasses, if appropriate, and when the screening is done. EyeSpy 2020 automatically configures each test based on the student's age and adjusts itself in real time based on responses from the student. Every screening is randomized to eliminate memorization, and certain elements of the screening process may or may not be performed. In other words, the system intelligently optimizes the screening process, and you may notice that some screenings appear different than others. Upon completion of the screening process, the system displays fireworks with instructions to dismiss the student. In small faint letters that are unable to be seen by the student, the result of the screening is displayed. As instructed, press the spacebar to end the screening. You will be returned to either the data entry screen, the student roster if you selected the student from the roster, or the reports section if this was a rescreening. Any filtering that you had in place is retained, and you may need to modify it in order to locate the next student to be screened. When screening a student by selecting them from the roster, their name is removed from the roster and is available in reports when the screening is completed. This provides a convenient method for identifying which students have not yet had their vision screened. EyeSpy 2020, designed by schools for schools.